I'm Jimmy with DeepBlu Entertainment, and
I'm Dalton with DeepBlu Entertainment.
Today's episode, we're going to be covering a few topics that we get asked by a lot of our clients, and start with topic number one, Mr. Watkins.
The first topic that we get asked a lot is how much experience do our DJs have?
Right. And what do you normally tell people?
I tell them that everybody that we have has been with the company for several years or has been DJing for a very long time.
Right.
Is very knowledgeable of how music works, how sound works, how the flow of a room works, everything.
Right. I think it's also important to point out that everybody that works here, I know when I first started the company years ago, I wanted to have people that were either a current professional musician or previously was a professional musician,
right,
has experience with sound audio engineering, has worked in the entertainment industry, like for instance your cousin Justin Jaggers.
Absolutely.
Worked for WMC TV5 as an on-air personality. He's also a professional musician. He's an accomplished audio engineer, so he's a total package kind of guy. Jared, same way. My background's in professional music. You are like a walking encyclopedia of music, so that's a big help. Plus, we all love music. It's just, it's part of our DNA. So I think that is a strength that we bring to every wedding, which is really important. It's important to me. It's important to you. It's important to our clients. They always tend to feel a little more comfortable with us once they find out. Not only do we love music, but we're accomplished musicians.
Absolutely, and
helps out.
The second that we walk in a room, we know every venue in Memphis.
Yep.
And no matter what, when we walk in the room, we go, all right, this is how the room's set up. This is what's going to give us the best sound.
Yep.
Knobs, volumes, everything's going to be set perfectly to get the best sound for every event.
And another question along these same lines is, people ask us what time we typically arrive to get set up. And you know as well as I do, it doesn't take that long for our equipment to be set up. But we'd like to have, you especially, this guy... I like to show up an hour and a half to 2 hours before start time, just to make sure everything is fine.
3 hours.
Dalton is 3.5. I don't know, just whatever. But
I like to get to an event hall because I give myself oh-no time.
Yes.
Plenty of oh-no time.
Gotta have the oh-no time.
Because a cord stops working. My laptop stops working. The electrical goes down.
It could be anything.
Any thousands of possible things that could happen. I want to give myself, even after the 20 or 30 minutes that it takes me to set up, I want to have a couple of hours to figure out what I can do to make this work.
Especially if it's hot like it is right now. We're in the middle. We're almost at the end of June and it's blazing hot.
Blisteringly hot.
So yeah, it's good to be there early enough to get set up and cool off and be able to change from our load-in clothes to our suits and things like that. Another thing I wanted to touch on is as far as the sound equipment that we use, it's always been really important to me. We don't cheap out. We don't buy the cheap stuff. And it's not bragging or anything, but if you're using a QSC system or a Bose system or a turbo sound system or something like that, not knocking the guys that use cheaper stuff, that's not a big deal. That's the way they swerve. Just that's not the way that we prefer it. Because this stuff, it's higher quality, sounds better. If something goes wrong, it's easier to get it replaced. The companies are always really good about customer service. We like to deal with companies, buy products from companies that treat their customers just like we treat ours. So, yeah, that.
Those turbo sounds are killer.
They're amazing.
So good.
The Boses are good too. The Boses
I thought I liked them both, but I actually really like those turbo sounds.
Well, they're good for... Like, the Boses are good for certain applications, and turbo sounds are good for certain applications, so yeah.
Right.
We like our equipment, folks.
Absolutely.
All right, next topic.
All right. If no one is dancing, how do you get the dance floor going?
You asking me?
In general.
Well, first of all, we, in this part of the country, we do run into events that have no alcohol. And clients are really concerned about that when they initially contact us. But here's the deal. If the music is good enough, and the DJ/host is good enough, then that's not a problem. You're going to have people at your wedding that typically aren't dancers. They just don't dance. No matter what you do, they're just not going to. I'm one of those guys. I'm not going to dance when I go to a wedding reception. But I enjoy good music. But out of a guest list of 150 people, we're going to eventually figure out how many of those people, the maximum number of feet we're going to have on the dance floor. And once we get them out there, we hang on to them. So we do it by music. If the music doesn't work, if we're playing a song that doesn't necessarily work for that time of the evening, and a lot of people are dancing, we'll shift gears, we'll change. So we won't let the whole song play out. We'll actually stop that sucker and play a new one. So that's one way. What do you do?
I've done that a few times. I have the great thing about virtual DJ is it has a button called break stop or break start. It'll and people were like, "What was that?" And then you start anything up, and usually people are like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no, this works way better."
Yeah.
The best example I've had of that, and I've talked about this before. I had a party of a lot of older people, and I couldn't get them to dance to anything. I used what I'm used to using to get people on the dance floor and what always works. I couldn't get anybody on the floor. But then I was just like, wait, let's go back a couple of decades. And I played September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Flood.
That song usually works, though.
All the time.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Everybody loves Earth, Wind, and Fire. And
even if they don't realize it.
And now, we will use group dances if we have to get people on the floor.
The Cupid Shuffle.
Cupid Shuffle, Cha-Cha Slide, Electric Boogie.
The Wobble.
The Wobble. Occasionally Cotton Eye Joe. It doesn't always work, but it does work. It don't ask me how it works, but it does.
That's a love-hate song. Some people love it, some people hate it.
It is absolutely a love-hate song. But if it works, it works.
The thing about group dance songs is a lot of people, obviously, if you go to a wedding and you have a bad experience, it's easy to assume that, especially if you go to a wedding, that we're not DJing. I'm not saying that we're perfect, but if you go to a wedding and you have a bad experience, it's easy to assume that that's how all weddings are. And people that go to a lot of weddings, they hear these line dance songs all the time and they're kind of sick of them. But the way that we actually use them as tools, we don't use them as crutches. So a group dance song is a song that you can play that will bring more people out to the dance floor. And then once they're there, they're easy to hang on to. But we have, in our planning forms, we have a must play and a must not play. In the do not play section, those line dance songs show up all the time.
All the time.
All the time. So what we like to do is put them in a category of play if absolutely necessary kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, we don't start the show with the Cha-Cha Slide.
No.
It's kind of a cop-out, you know?
No. Usually when I open the dance floor, it's Bruno Mars. Because it gets everybody's attention. It's big, it's loud, it grabs attention.
And young and old, they love Bruno Mars.
Oh, everybody loves him.
Yeah.
All right. How do you handle requests? Do we take requests?
Yes, we do. We get asked this a lot. We do take requests, but the criteria is as long as the song is not on your do not playlist.
Yep.
As long as the song is appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, all the songs we play are radio edited. Nothing is explicit. Absolutely not. It's a company policy of ours to not play explicit songs. So we do take requests as long as they're appropriate, as long as you approve, and that's the criteria. Do you have anything you want to add on that?
If we are able to find a version of a song someone is asking for that is the clean version, we'll do our best to get it played. Now,
if one's not available,
if a clean version is not available, and I think I can possibly get away with it, I will ask the bride first. That first and foremost, I will walk up and be like, "Hey, this song, I'm getting a lot of requests for this song, but I can't quite find a completely clean version. Is it okay?" And every time I do that, 99% of the time, people are like, "Yeah, no, go ahead. Nobody's here that will get offended. It's fine."
You mean a song that's like super filthy, or a song that might have a
couple
word in it or something?
Yeah, just a couple of cuss words in it or something, or might be a little more edgy.
Yeah, but that's a rare occurrence.
Incredibly rare. I've had it happen once.
Yeah, walking up to the bride and bothering the bride or the groom during the wedding reception to ask them to play a song is literally a last-ditch effort kind of thing. But we do it if we,
If we absolutely have to, yes.
Yeah, if 50 people are asking for one song and it's got an S word in it, yeah. But more often than not, we can find... We probably, 9 times out of 10, we've got the clean version.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a 3 6 Mafia song and there's just not a clean version available.
Yeah.
Then would you like to hear something else? We don't have that kind of thing. So the thing of it is keep the evening flowing. We're not there to have this big long discussion about, whether or not we have the song and all this other kind of stuff, we just like to keep it moving. Because the whole night is not going to tank because we didn't play one song.
Right.
That 50 people asked for.
Yes.
But, who knows?
Okay. When do you feel like is the best time for cake cutting?
The best time for cake cutting is usually after dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Because dessert follows dinner, cake is dessert. Have cake towards the end of dinner. Sometimes there's a situation to where the photographer has to leave early and we need to get the cake cutting out of the way so they can take their pictures and all that. But typically it's at the end of dinner, but you can have the cake cutting whenever you want to.
Now, the thing that I have found that works absolutely the best, if the reception starts with dinner, like the second that the reception starts, food is served.
So like food is available for the guests.
And the second that they walk into the room.
Right.
After first dance, father, daughter, mother, son, immediately go into cake cutting.
And, along those lines too, people, and this actually may be a topic for another video in the future, but people ask us a lot, I've never done this before. This is my first time. Obviously, people get married once. So, we don't expect you to know everything. Mm-mm. And there is no handbook that says a wedding must go in this order. There's absolutely no reason for every wedding to go a certain way. Back in the day, I'd say back in the late 90s and everything was when the traditional formatted wedding was really going by the wayside, because now, it's just really whatever you want to do. But we do have a standard formatted timeline, so to speak, 1, 2, 3, 4 in order how things go, so we can give that to our clients if they ask for it. But yeah, there are no rules. You just do it however you want to do it.
And coordinators are really good about helping plan that out as well.
They're the best at it. We
all
love wedding coordinators.
All of our coordinators are awesome.
We love wedding coordinators.
Love
they make our job so easy.
All right. Now, what if someone else asks for a song that we absolutely do not have?
Someone else is in a guest at the wedding?
Yes. Like, say that halfway through the night, it's a song that, for instance, Callin' Baton Rouge by Garth Brooks. Say someone asks for that. Which we have now.
You have now.
I have now. I did not have it before, but I do have it now. What if that happens? What if that comes up? What steps do we take to be able to make sure that we can get the song that they want?
By the way, we have Callin' Baton Rouge, and it's a very, very highly requested song. But typically, all the venues have Wi-Fi access,
yes.
So we'll go online and download it. If it's just not available, Callin' Baton Rouge. Garth Brooks has a few songs that are only available on YouTube. Like he never released them.
Yeah.
Like the song "Mom." That's one of them. Personally, I'll go. I don't have this song, and I don't have any. If for some reason we don't have Wi-Fi access, I'll say I don't have Wi-Fi access, so I can't get it. But I've got this song by Garth Brooks, and it'll probably be a popular song that everybody loves. So yeah, we would recommend a song by the same artist or something along the same vein. The bottom line is we just want to make everybody happy that's at the wedding reception. We just, that's our job, to bring the fun. So as much as we can do to facilitate that, that's the goal. So
absolutely.
How do you handle it? How do you normally do it?
The same way. It's if somebody asks for something, if I can find it pretty quickly, I will get it downloaded and I'll have it played. No issues in the world. There's just some off the wall, middle of nowhere. Here's this song I heard once 10 years ago, but I can't quite remember the name of it. Can you download it? It sometimes it takes a little while.
Right.
But we're pretty good about getting everything played.
Yeah, anything and everything. It's rare. Seriously, a rare occasion that we can't find a song. It's really rare. So, I've been at an event one time, and I can't remember the song, but it was only available on YouTube, and I previewed it before it was played. We had really good Wi-Fi access, and I hate to admit it, but I actually played it from YouTube, but it was the only way to pull it off. We typically don't like YouTube and Spotify. We don't have as much control as we have with our DJ software. So
correct.
But yeah, I hate doing that. But it sounded good. I had a chance to preview it before I played it. Gave the guests what they wanted. That's really all that matters.
Here's another thing that I just thought about. What if the day of they decide they want to change a couple of their formality songs?
Fine.
Absolutely.
Totally fine.
I've done it before.
I've done it on the fly. I've done it like at the last minute.
I've had brides walk up to me and go, "Hey, we just decided before we walked in that we want this as our first dance instead."
Cool.
And we're like, "All right,
Yeah.
click."
I mean, our world doesn't crumble because you changed your mind. I mean, yeah, that's not a big deal
It's
at all.
not at all
Not
in
at all.
the slightest.
Our goal is to make you happy. We just want to make sure that everything is great. We want you and your guests to walk out of that wedding reception going, that was one of the coolest parties, if not the coolest party I've ever been to in my entire life.
I have a lot of people telling us that.
We get a lot of people saying that. Thank goodness. So that's our goal. We work really hard to make everything perfect, or at least as close to perfect as possible. So yeah, change your mind if you want to, just as long as you're happy.